Yo, yo, yo. I'm not gonna lie to you. I knew who the next Captain America was gonna be before the next Captain America got crowned the next Captain America because of the Lego Marvel game. I know y'all wonder where I was going with that. I was trying to figure it out as I was talking. Anyways, yeah. Falcon. I use Falcon, the Captain America version in the Lego game so much. I was just flying around. It was very cool. Anyways, let's get right into it. This is how many Lego Captain Americas are in Lego games? I don't know.
Lego games. What would your answer be?
I feel a storm brewing.
I bet you guys would be shocked to find out that there are more than 20 different Captain America characters across Lego Marvel Superheroes, Lego Marvel Avengers, and Lego Marvel Superheroes 2. Today, to celebrate the release of the brand new Captain America Brave New World movie, we're going to be taking a look at every single one of these Captain Americas and ranking them on a scale of 1 to 5 stars. Now, before we dive into the epic list itself, of course, I would love to go on ahead and ask you guys for a little bit of support, so consider hitting the thumbs up button, leave a like, and let's see if we could hit 1,000 likes within a week of upload. If we do, I will go ahead and put together an epic showcase video for the Hulk, which will of course also feature the Red Hulk. Now, with all that being said, let's dive on in. So first up, we're going all the way back to Lego Marvel Superheroes, where the MCU-inspired Captain America made his debut. He's rocking that classic MCU look with the colors of being a little bit more toned down and cinematic looking to match that style of the MCU itself. And it's a pretty solid design, but it feels just a tad bit off from perfect, so I'm going to give this one 4.5 stars. Next up, we have classic Captain America in his classic red, white, and blue attire, looking absolutely awesome. I particularly like the lighter tones and the more saturated colors for this particular costume when compared to the MCU one, just because as a comic book fan, I feel like it's more authentic to what I think of when I think of Captain America. And so because of that, with how iconic this look is, it gets a perfect 5 stars. So that was Lego Marvel Superheroes. Next, we jump to Lego Marvel's Avengers. And if you're a Captain America fan, this is probably the game for you because there are a lot of Captain America appearances in this one. So we kick things off with the one and only civilian attire, Steve Rogers. Not the most exciting version by any means necessary, but it is kind of cool to see Steve rocking the Captain America shield, just to be a bit more unique compared to a lot of other suits that we'll see on this list. But I'll give this one just a 3 out of 5. The next one up is just simply Steve Rogers in his gym attire, and honestly, this one's pretty basic, really not much to it, so I'm just gonna give this one a simple 1 star. Now on the flip side, the next version of Steve Rogers is almost identical to the previous one, but this one has him wearing a pair of boxing gloves. And I know that some people might question how that makes him any cooler, but I think even visually, boxing gloves just add a cooler element to the character, makes it a little bit more unique, and so because of that, I'm going to give this one a 2.5 out of 5. Next, we have our very first double dip, as it is the return of the Avengers, or MCU Avengers-inspired costume that we talked about in Lego Marvel Superheroes. Well, guess what? It is back in Lego Marvel's Avengers as well, and to keep the score consistent, it gets a 4.5 out of 5. And then it is time to celebrate Avengers Age of Ultron, which is of course the main story that unfolds in Lego Marvel's Avengers, because, well, we've got the Captain America costume from that movie, or I guess inspired by the look of that movie. Now, this one is quite a bit busier, and I think exemplifies, in my personal opinion, how over time the MCU costumes just went and got more and more over-designed, but that's a rant for another time. As far as the score is concerned, I'm going to give this one just a 3.5 out of 5. And speaking of returns, fear not, another return happens in Lego Marvel's Avengers, and that is the return of Classic Cap. This one looks super duper stylish, just like it did originally in Lego Marvel Superheroes. In fact, I could be wrong here, but for me personally, maybe it's just that LEGO Marvel Avengers is the more recent game, but it looks like the colors and even like the outlines on the actual minifig just look a tad bit sharper and cleaner, so I actually think it's kind of a superior version to the original appearance, but we can't go any higher than just the perfect 5 stars. So next up, we've got Unmasked Captain America from the first Avengers movie. So obviously we've already seen this suit before, but previously he had the helmet or the mask on. This time he is unmasked. And while it's a nice change, I've always personally preferred the mask on design, so I'll knock half a star off and give this one 4 stars. Now for the next one, we've got another unmasked Captain America, this time the Age of Ultron Captain America unmasked. And I know, I literally just said that I wasn't a huge fan of unmasked Cap, but for some reason for this one, it actually works better without the helmet. I think maybe it's just because the busyness of the design seems to be a little minimized here, but I'm still gonna give this one just a 3.5 out of 5. Now this next character is where I feel things get more exciting, because this is Bucky Barnes, Captain America. And if you're a comic book fan, you will definitely recognize this design, because obviously, as the name suggests, this is the look and the design of Captain America when Bucky Barnes takes up the mantle of the Captain. Now, this was just such a cool and pleasant inclusion in this particular LEGO game. As a huge comic book fan, I was stoked to see that they included this one in the game, and honestly, I actually think they did a pretty good job of recreating that original look in LEGO form. So for that, it gets a 4.5 out of 5. And speaking of cool, the next design is that of Sam Wilson Captain America. Now, keep in mind, this look actually precedes Sam ever taking up the mantle in the MCU itself. That's why it might look different to what we see in the movies. Well, also in addition to that, obviously, this design is actually based on him from the comics, because obviously he became Captain America in the comic books many years before he ever became Captain America in the actual films. So keep in mind as far as those differences. Now, for me personally, once again, I actually like the brighter and more vibrant colors on this one versus the MCU costume. And so because of that, I actually do really like this design. I'm going to give it a 4.5 out of 5. Now let's dive into the next one. Get it? Dive? Because this is Captain America. Yeah, it's definitely a goofy design, and honestly, it reminds me of those like silly random action figures that they tend to release when a new movie comes out. But at the same time, it's kind of cool that it's a unique new version of the first Avenger that we had never seen before, so I do appreciate that, and for that, I'll give it 3 stars. For this next one, we're headed off to space with Space Captain America. And I mean, honestly, what's not to like? It's classic. Top of the video, don't forget to go ahead and leave a like on today's.
Alright, we're gonna get out of here. Thanks y'all for watching. I'm gonna see